my name is Ben Hughes. I run a startup charity called the Listening Projects, and we are here on a very sunny day in Pocket Park in beautiful Deloraine. And I am conscious that last week I was here, I got really burnt. So the Tassie sun is a trap for young players and it can really burn you. But we're here and it's a beautiful day and we're collecting stories. That's what we do at the Listening Projects. And what the Listening Projects is really based around a quote by Simon Sinek, which is, if you want to learn empathy, expose yourself to diversity. That really means go and sit with people who don't look like you and don't think like you, and you'll probably learn that most of us are the same. And this is around social cohesion. It's about old-fashioned community building, not hiding behind these terrible phones, and actually getting out and listening to people. So I was really interested in when people talk, how they unburden themselves, which is a great thing, but more so I was interested in the effect when somebody tells a big story, the effect that has on people who listen and the empathy that can be gained from that. So this is really what we're doing here today.
So people come up to you, you're sitting here at the Pocket Park,
yeah,
and they talk to you about stories. Do you ask questions or do they just get into it, or how does it, more specifically, how does it work?
It depends.
Or is it more of an informal?
It's informal, but it's really important for me to collect those stories and record them, and not everybody wants to do that, which is a real shame, because otherwise the stories just go off into the ether and I can hear wonderful stories and I can sit here all day. But when we collect stories and we collect powerful stories, we put them up on our website, and I'm often thinking about the person who's sitting at home by themselves, and they may well watch a powerful video of a story and it might help them think, I'm not alone, somebody else has gone through the same kind of thing. So it's really about that connection. And so I know Deloraine has an amazing community, so I'm here and I'm hoping that people will come up and tell their stories. It's been a bit slow at the moment, but this is our second time. I'll be here next Wednesday and I'll be here back in the new year. Here comes the truck, thank you. So I'll be here in the new year, and we've heard all kinds of amazing stories, from childhood literacy problems, a story about trans. There's a whole heap of stories. Somebody whose child was attacked by a dog in Deloraine. Some amazing stories come out, and I'd like to encourage people to come and tell more stories.
Can you talk a little bit about starting a startup charity? When did it start? How hard has it been? What's that process been like?
It's funny because on my flyers it says we do this and we do that. Actually, it's only me who does this. You've got to make yourself bigger. I'm going to take you right back to 2011 when I was in a bad place, and I talked to two men, told them my story, they told me their story, and I thought, oh, there's something in this. So I started something called the Men's Table, which has now gone on to be a national charity with 260 groups of men who meet once a month and talk about the highs and lows of their lives. And that was a battle. A non-clinical all-male space is really important for men, where you can just talk about the highs and lows without going to the doctor, because men don't go to the doctor. And through that I heard a whole heap of amazing stories, and I wanted to bring it to the whole community, not just men. I learned a whole heap of stuff about what it's like to be a veteran and go to war, which is way out of what I do in my life. Or a story about men who'd had autistic children, or men who'd been driving a car and been involved in a fatal accident, or whatever the story was. Learning empathy for people like this, and I wanted to really bring it to this. It's hard doing a startup charity. It's not easy, it's just me. And I've had great interest in schools. So schools is really where I'm starting to find the interest in bringing this beautiful mat here into schools and using it as a vehicle where we can get kids talking about what's really going on for them. The stats show that isolation and loneliness is most prevalent in young people. And again, I want to pick up my phone and wave it and go, these things are to blame. And they are largely. We've seen people just hear on the phone rather than actually talking and listening to each other. So yeah, to answer your question in a long-winded form, it's tough, it's hard. I could go and get a job, but I've decided to try and do this. Yeah.
How can organisations or people support you or fund you, or how can that sort of side?
There's a lot of things
work?
that can happen. I really want people to show up, because if people don't show up, I'm not going to carry on doing it. And if they do show up, please let me record your story, because then I've got a real record. I can say, hey, this is what's happening in Deloraine, this is what Deloraine is, this is why the pocket park is here, this is etc, etc. Funding is always really important, and I will be starting storytelling nights up in the British, I hope, so I know they're super busy. Funding is really important, and asking people just to ask me how that you can help me. I wish I was rich enough I could just do this, but I'm not. So,
can I ask what you do when you're not doing this?
I do a little bit of support work for the NDIS. So I walk, I love hiking. Coming to Tassie has been fantastic. Slogging up a steep thing and then getting to the top for the reward. And you're just like, wow, look at this place. So I do a little bit of that. I do a bit of part-time work here and there. But next year I'm really focused on how can I create a difference by doing this, but it needs funding. So schools might well be an option to go in and try and commercialise it, because I got to eat, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You're
Yeah.
providing a service and a benefit, and
Yeah.
to keep it going, then you need a little bit back.
Yeah, it needs something back, and social cohesion is at a low ebb at the moment. We live in a very divided world, and the divisions are being created for us. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So next year, schools,
Yeah.
potentially. Is this primary or secondary, or a bit of both?
Bit of both. I've got a lot of interest. Every school I've spoken to have gone, oh yeah, this sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
We know that bullying, the government have a big focus on anti-bullying in schools at the moment. If we can sit people around the table, listening to each other, it's a good way of creating that understanding. And I'm biased, but I think it's got a lot of legs. I saw at the men's table that it just grew and grew. And how do we create that for the whole community? Yeah. Yeah.
What's your favourite part of the Meander Valley?
Oh, the Warner's Track.
Okay.
Warner's Track is a very steep track that leads up to Pine Lake, and I walked up it with my son, who's 30, and there's a lot of elevation, and all the way up he was saying, come on Dad, you can do it, come on. I was like huffing and puffing behind him. It was tough. And then I went to a meeting in Westbury, and Nate from the council was there, and there was a story about how the Aboriginal communities would walk from the valley up to Pine Lake, and I could just imagine some younger men coming, come on Dad, in their own languages, and there was me tens of thousands of years later doing the same thing. So that really resonated with me. I thought that was it linked me with the past and linked me with the Aboriginal culture, thinking that they used that track to get up to the highlands. Yeah, I loved it, yeah. Oh, at the time I wasn't so keen. Walking back down was good.
Last question. What do you think of the Pocket Park?
Oh, I think it's amazing. I've heard a little bit of a story. I'm hoping some people will come and tell me the story about this. I believe it's in private hands still, which is quite extraordinary, that somebody's actually given up this piece of land in this commercial world that we live in. These places are really important for community, and but community doesn't just happen. People need to come out. You need to do a little bit and make a little bit of an effort to create community. If everybody's a little bit, this place should be packed. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do here, and it's great. I love it. It's been done really well. Maybe a little bit of shade would be good.